Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and to another Plan With Me video. This week we are going to be planning out the week of the 23rd of May through to what is the 29th of May. I had to lift my page there to see what that was. But we are using this absolutely beautiful kit from Anna over at Plannerface. I can't quite read the name. Cottage Witch, I think it's called. It is actually a mystery subscription that I did purchase as a once-off a couple of months ago. I do kind of pick and choose the mysteries that I try and sign up for now, just because I'm trying to be really cautious of how many kits I'm buying, because I have so many kits accumulated and I tend to buy new kits and then bump out old kits for new kits. So I'm being a bit more selective about the kits I buy, particularly when it does come to mystery subscriptions. But when I saw the sneak peek for this one, I knew I absolutely had to have it. It was just, I think there was like a crystal ball. It was purple. It looked magical. It looked witchy. And I'm so glad that I bought this kit. It is absolutely stunning. And I'm so incredibly in love with the way that the spread turned out. It's quite possibly one of my favorite spreads of the year. I feel like I say that I was going to say every video, but that's not true, because there's quite a few spreads this year that I don't really enjoy. But this one I absolutely love. This week was a bit of an interesting one. It was definitely a week that was a bit of a roller coaster, a lot of emotions. There was some ups, there was some downs, and it was, I don't know. It's going to be a difficult week to talk through just because of the things that happened. But the kit is absolutely beautiful. So I guess that kind of neutralizes the bad and kind of brings in a little bit of good. I did decide to pair this kit with hollow. It's like a confetti hollow pixie dust situation. So you will see throughout that I do use pops of holographic foil throughout. I don't use too much, and I haven't put overlays on yet. I'm actually undecided as to whether or not I want to put overlays on. I don't necessarily know that this spread needs overlays because of the pops of foil already in it. And then, of course, when you have a beautiful spread, if you then go and add things to it after the fact, it becomes a case of, is this going to be too much? And then you can't really undo it. So still undecided, even as I record this voiceover. But we will see what happens. You'll probably see the end result in the flip through video that I'm trying to promise ahead of time, but I feel like I promise you guys a flip through video constantly and it just never happens. It's August. And I've been saying since, I don't know, December that I was going to do a flip through for 2021, and I haven't done it. And we're getting towards the back end of 2022. So we are going to have to wait and see what happens, but hopefully you'll get a flip through at the end of the year. In conjunction with the hollow foil, I did bring in some Scribble Prints washi tape. I cannot even tell you how long ago I got the washi tape. I know that I got it a very, very long time ago. I don't even know if Andrea does washi tape anymore. I don't remember when she last did washi tape, but it is a Scribble Prints Co. Washi tape, and you will see that it's got the hollow pixie glitter, pixie dust, confetti bits and bobs through it. And the color, it's kind of it is definitely more of a galaxy vibe washi tape, but the pattern throughout, I think the colors tied in really, really well with this kit. And I don't know what it is, but everything just works seamlessly for me. This spread, absolutely love it. But again, like always, let me know your thoughts below. I'm always super curious to hear what you have to say, and particularly when it comes to spreads that I dislike or like, because I feel like obviously everyone has differing opinions, but I'm really obsessed with how this one turned out. I think the pops of purple with the teal green, I don't know, it just works. But the reason that I chose this particular kit is I actually had another kit planned out for this week. I think I ended up bumping all of my kits back a week because, there you go, you'll see I'm laying out the washi now. I did have another kit here. I don't remember what the kit was now, because I think I bumped everything down and then I swapped a couple out. But this particular week we did go to a show that was a psychic show, and I figured that This particular kit is very specific. It's very niche. So I either had to use this kit during Halloween, or I had to use this kit like for a particular event. Like I feel like it just had a certain niche to it. I say that though, and I was literally talking to my husband about this the other day, where back in the day, like rewind 2 years, when I did my planner spreads like week to week, I didn't do transition kits. I didn't do seasonal kits. I didn't do, colors fading into other colors. I literally just picked whatever kit I wanted each week. Like one week it might have been pink, the next week it was orange, one week it might have been rainy, and then it might have been like a summer kit. I had no rhyme or reason as to how I used to plan out my kits. And now I put so much thought and effort into all of it. And it's kind of just like, well, I don't know. But yeah, it's really interesting to see, like, now I put so much time and effort into planning out my kits and how they're going to work and how they're going to transition between each month, each season. And back in the day, I was just like, do what I want. Anyway, I don't I don't know where I was going with that point. Oh, right, because this particular week we went to see the what is he called? The Medium. And so I figured, yeah, if I didn't use it this week, I don't know when I was going to use it. And I already have all of my Halloween kits picked out. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to take advantage. I'm going to use this kit. And that is what I went ahead and did. So really happy with that choice. But with that said, let's go ahead and start talking through the week. Because like I said, a little bit did happen. And it's quite rare that things happen for me during a like standard week, because generally my standard week is like Monday to Friday at work, and then Saturday and Sunday it's like groceries, cleaning, laundry, like doing nothing. So this was an eventful week, which is always exciting to talk about. So let's jump into it. So first and foremost, the sidebar, again, pretty standard for me these days. So I've just put my full box, I've decorated my top little corner section, which I'm absolutely obsessed with. I've tracked my socials, so I've got my YouTube stats. I didn't record my Instagram stats for some reason, but I recorded my YouTube. I don't know how that happens. Anyway, I still marked it in. I just left it blank, although that's contradictory. Anyway, and then I marked in that I was reading the Gone series at this point, so I was still at the point where I was reading, but then I was also watching Never Have I Ever. So I don't know, I must have started watching Never Have I Ever during the day, and then, oh yes, I remember. Okay, I started watching it during the week. Okay. And then at the bottom, because of how the washi was laid out, I decided to bring the Scribble Prints Co. washi across, and then I put a fancy label down the bottom to fill in that space. I haven't put anything in it yet. I don't know what I'm going to put in there yet, but it kind of just fit perfectly, so that's what I did. And then as you can see, at the moment, I'm currently trying to fiddle around with Monday and the placement of my stickers. So I did actually call in sick this day. So yeah, so basically, for anyone who might have picked up on it, who is a bit, pays attention to detail like I do, you may have noticed that my last plan with me was actually 2 weeks prior to this. So it was like not the week gone, but the one before that. And I chose not to film last week in my planner because we did actually lose one of our guinea pigs over that weekend during my brother's move, and it was just a really hectic, very traumatic weekend. We noticed that he was a little bit off his food on like the Thursday, but he was still kind of nibbling the like emergency critical care food that you like syringe feed to them, and he was still interested in eating, but he was just a little bit lethargic. And then on Saturday we rung around and we tried to get him into a vet because Friday he pretty much stopped eating altogether. And Saturday we tried again. We tried to give him grass, his favorite treats, and he just wouldn't take them. And so we rang around. I rang legitimately 7 vets. And then I ended up having to take him to emergency. Thursday night he ate. Friday night he was like trying to nibble, and then Saturday he just wouldn't touch anything. So Sunday morning we woke up and we tried again and just nothing. So then we rang the vets. Like I said, we rang 7 different vets. We ended up having to take him into emergency care. And they pretty much said the prognosis wasn't great. He'd obviously gone downhill quite quickly. And with guinea pigs, when they do go downhill, like pretty much once that starts happening, it's essentially game over. But they did say to us, look, if he is showing interest in nibbling at things and he looks as though it's just the fact that he doesn't have the energy to eat, which is what it looked like. It looked like he wanted to eat, but he didn't have any energy. That we should keep trying to syringe feed him, because with the syringe, you're literally jamming it down their throat, so to speak. And then that way they're just swallowing it. It's filling up their tummy. And then we had to, like, they told us to syringe water to him as well. And then they said, obviously, if things were to change, to bring him back. And obviously, if needed, little bit of a trigger warning here. I probably should have said it was a bit of a trigger warning earlier, but a bit of a trigger warning here just in terms of animal health. But they did say to bring him back if he went downhill and he needed to be euthanized. So otherwise, we could have admitted him, and it was going to cost us, I think, $2,800. And essentially, in admitting him, all that they were going to do was put him on an IV and try to syringe feed him, which is essentially what we'd be doing at home. So we did opt to take him home, because we figured that if we could get some food down his throat, he'd start to get a bit more energy and, things would be great. And unfortunately, I think we left the vets at about 3. I think we got home at about 7, because it was a really long drive. We had some food. We tried to feed him. We put him sort of in his bed. We had a shower. It was about like 9:30, 10 o'clock we crawled into bed, and unfortunately we did lose him that night. And I don't really think I've given myself time to grieve, so I don't really want to spend too much time on it, but we did lose him on Sunday night, and it was just very traumatic for me. So on Monday I did decide to call in sick from work, and then you'll see the cute little custom sticker I have of my little baby Bert there, where I did mark that we essentially went to the vet and said goodbye to him. And I'm getting a little bit emotional talking about it, so I'm going to try and move on as best as I can. But yeah, it was a really sad day. It was a really hard day. I pretty much came home and I laid in bed all day. I didn't even turn lights on or anything. Like I was a mess. So that was the day that I started watching Never Have I Ever. My husband did get me some McDonald's on the way home, just some coffee and some food so that I'd at least eaten. And then I went home, like I said, laid in bed all day, watched the TV show. I did take a bit of a nap in the afternoon, and I slept for like 3 or 4 hours. And then when my husband got home, we had some food and I pretty much just chilled out with him, and then we went to bed. So not the greatest of days. On Tuesday, I did go back to work. I felt like it was going to be a little bit silly of me to call in and say that I wasn't coming back into work again because my guinea pig had passed away. I don't know what it is, because like pets are family, and I don't know why a guinea pig would be any different to a dog, but unfortunately they're treated differently. And I thought that I would be sort of frowned upon if I was to call in sick for 2 days because my guinea pig passed away. Even though within myself I knew I wasn't right and I didn't want to work, I just felt like I would be judged for it. So I did go to work this particular day. The day was rough, like as anticipated. But I mean, I managed. I did get a checkup at one point from one of my team leaders just to ask if I was okay, because I was taking far too long to do tasks and we get timed on everything. So it was a really rough day. I cried a lot. I couldn't focus. It was sucky. That afternoon I did watch Big Brother. I had missed some previous episodes because of obviously everything that had happened. So I did sit on the couch and watch Big Brother, and again that was kind of just a way for me to distract my mind, because even now I find myself trying to distract my mind, because when I think about it too much I can't cope. And then Bert did leave behind his brother Honks, and so we were obviously worried that if they were separated and if Honks was alone and we didn't show him enough love, that, we've heard of instances where partners or brothers or like roommates, so to speak, can pass away because they're lonely and they have a broken heart and that sort of thing. So we were really worried about that. So that evening we did make sure to give our other guinea pig Honks lots of cuddles. So you will see that I put my other custom sticker for him there just to mark that. And then I did do some laundry. And then this particular evening I did go to bed and I struggled to sleep because I was feeling really anxious and really sad and really down. And I just had this overwhelming feeling of like loneliness and sadness. And even though my husband was going through the same thing, and he was there and I could talk to him and I'd spoken to people just to kind of get it off my chest, I was overcome with like loneliness and sadness. So that wasn't fun. On Wednesday, again, I did work. I had lots and lots of coffee. I did do some cleaning. I stacked the dishwasher. Just, again, a lot of those like adult chores. And then that evening, I did hang out on Twitch with my friends just to sort of keep my mind off everything. And then as per usual schedule, I did wash my hair that evening as well. And then we've kind of caught up to the camera footage. So Thursday I did have work, and then this particular day I was due to go and get my hair done. I think it says hair. I didn't really think about this when I placed the cancelled sticker over the top. I've never done that before, but I decided to do it this day because I didn't really have anything else to mark, but I was scheduled to go and get my hair done. But I don't remember what happened. Why did it get cancelled? Oh, that's right. Because on the same weekend, like I said, when everything happened with my brother moving, the guinea pig passing away, or Birdie passing away, my car broke down as well. So on the Thursday night before I came home, my car broke down while I was driving it, and I lost my power steering. My lights went off. It was absolutely chaotic. I was a mess. So that happened, and then it led into the busy weekend of moving, the sick guinea pig, and then obviously into this week. So I couldn't get to my hair appointment because I didn't have a car, and the public transport out here is atrocious, and my husband had his car for work, so I had to cancel my hair appointment. That is why. So instead I got to clean. And then I pretty much made myself a cup of tea. I sat on the couch again. I wasn't feeling the greatest, and I just watched my friends' streams once again. Friday, I did have the day off work. That was a scheduled day off prior to anything else happening. So that was fortunate for me. I only had to work 3 days on what was otherwise a really crappy week. So that was good. So I did wake up and have a cup of coffee, and then I did have we took our guinea pig Honks outside. We finally bought him an outdoor cage. We hadn't gotten him one. We'd wanted to get him one for ages, but we hadn't gotten around to it. So we finally got him one, and we spent the morning outside with him on the grass, in the sun. He didn't really know what to do, but I think he enjoyed it. And then that night, this is the night that we went to see the medium. So before we went, we did go to a Thai place that does really good Thai food. And they served us, but we got there I don't know, we gave ourselves plenty of time for the show, but they literally had us wait for food for 45 minutes. So by the time they served the food, we were literally shoving the food down our throat. I think we only had one serving each because we literally had to pack up and go. So we had a mouthful each. We packed everything into a bag and we raced off to the show because the show started at 7:30, and I think food was served at literally 7 o'clock. So we raced off to the show. And then, like I said, we did see a medium. So we saw Australian medium Mitchell Coombs, and that was really good. And in hindsight, we obviously didn't know it at the time, but that particular night, I'm pretty sure that's when we got COVID, because it was the first time we'd been to something like that in a big crowd. But the show was great. It was really good. He was really good. Some of the stories, some of the connections, absolutely amazing. If you are in Australia or if he does travel internationally and you ever see the name Mitchell Coombs, I definitely recommend going to see him. But that was really good. And then after that, we did go to McDonald's with my mother-in-law and her best friend. We had some food. I think I had an iced coffee. And then we went home to my mother-in-law's house and we hung out there for a little while. On Saturday, we had a really lazy morning on the couch. I did a YouTube binge and I played with some stickers. And then that evening, I did get glam, or I got pretty, or basically I dressed up to leave the house for once, which I don't do a lot these days. And we did go out for dinner at the, why do I keep going to say at the local? It's not local. We went out to dinner with my husband's relatives at a Chinese restaurant. And then again, we did have a McDonald's date. Well, not a McDonald's date. We went through the drive-thru and I got a coffee frappe again. And then we went to my in-laws' house again. But this is back when my father-in-law was like, he was going in for surgery at some point. We didn't know when. So we were kind of like spending a lot of time with them, that sort of stuff. So yeah, we went back and spent some time at their house again. And then of course that rolls into Sunday, the final day of the week. Again, because of the couple of late nights and shows and all of that we had on the Sunday morning, we did sleep in and we didn't get out of bed until till 12 p.m. Love that. Not really, because it feels like the whole day is wasted. And then you kind of have to cram everything into the back end of the day, which kind of sucks. We then decided to take my husband's car into town, essentially, and get it detailed. It was quite dirty and we wanted to get out of the house. So we went and we did that. And while we had that getting detailed, we went off and we had some Red Rooster. And then after we went to Red Rooster, I did get myself a coffee from McDonald's, which is like right next door. And then we kind of wandered down the street. We went to Office Works. Oh, right. We wanted to go into town, but we also had to pick up Bertie because he was ready to come home. We did unfortunately have to decide to get him cremated because we don't know what we're doing long term with our house. And so that's kind of where we went with that. But we went to pick him up from the vets and he came home. We bring him home. So that made me happy and sad at the same time. And then I did take a nap and I uploaded a Plan With Me video. But that is it for this week. I know it was a bit of a heavy one, but hopefully the beauty of this spread makes up for that. Thank you all so much for watching. If you haven't already, please consider liking and subscribing and popping a comment in the comments section below. But I'll see you all very soon for another video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye for now.